Hi everyone. Welcome to Junctural Art with Miss Riley. I'm Miss Riley. I am here on this fantastic, beautiful Wednesday. It's actually a little chilly outside, but I am here on this wonderful World Travel Wednesday to kind of share a fun project that I've never really done before, and so it was kind of something new and fun for me to do. So, what we are actually going to be looking at today, we are going to travel to the amazing continent of Africa, which is incredibly diverse. But luckily, I was able to kind of think and research and learn a little bit more about a project that has been a kind of artwork that's been used actually all across the continent for a really long time. We're going to talk today about traditional African animal masks. Now, masks have always been a huge part of a lot of traditional African culture in many areas, and animals have always been a subject of these masks. Now, the animal masks can kind of serve two purposes. Traditionally, they can represent the spirit of the animal. So, in some special traditions or in some special ceremonies, they might wear a mask that represents a particular animal and as a way to pay homage to the animal or reenact an event. Or the mask can represent the qualities of an animal. So, a lion might represent bravery and leadership. Different animals could represent different things. So really the way I started out the project today was deciding what animal I wanted to do, and I kind of stuck with a lion because it jumped out at me. I saw some examples of some lion masks. The example you can see below is actually not a lion mask, it's a zebra, but it is a modern Swahili version of the traditional mask. So we're actually going to be using cardboard boxes to do this. So what I did, I'm going to kind of scoot up so I can show you. So what I did was I took just pieces of cardboard from a shipping container. You can kind of see them scattered out. And I started by cutting the main section of the animal mask that I wanted to use. So I decided I was doing a lion. So I kind of looked at like this diamond shape and I painted it red. I just used just cheap acrylic craft paint. You do not have to paint yours. I just did it to add a little bit of color. I'm doing it on this black background. And I say I added color because when we're thinking about these African masks, a lot of the materials that were available traditionally to use were natural materials, which is why the cardboard lends it this really nice natural look. If you're choosing colors, you're looking for colors that are maybe a little more natural, then people would have used natural pigments to color these. So flowers, things from plants. So I used a lot of red and orange would have been colors they might have used that wouldn't have been too rare to use. So I actually cut this shape out. I'm a big fan of cutting away. It was actually a square, and you can kind of see here that I just cut corners off until I had the shape that I liked. So sometimes when you're cutting a shape, don't even think about drawing it and cutting it out, just start taking some pieces off of like a square and kind of see what you end up with, which is what I did here. So I cut out this shape. This is going to kind of be the lion's main face. And I also cut out, I actually looked at a cartoon to help me with this. So you could look at a cartoon drawing of an animal to kind of see the shapes. This is his little mouth where his little whiskers are. And I cut him out a little nose to put on. And I made eyes. Now the nose I painted, the eyes I actually used oil pastels on. You could do the same thing with crayons if you don't have oil pastels. The oil pastels I use are actually really pretty inexpensive. Parents, I cannot recommend getting a set of oil pastels for your kids enough. They are really cheap. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them at Walmart. They are just, think of really thick crayons, really waxy, oily crayons. But the cool thing about oil pastels are they go on really thick and you can do a lot of cool blending and effects with them. And actually, I've considered doing a lesson about this, but I really worry that a lot of people don't have them. So if there's any art material that a lot of families don't have that I would recommend playing around with, it's oil pastels. My kids go wild when I get them out. So I used oil pastels to do this. You could do it with crayon. And I'll talk about the decorations in a minute. Let me talk about gluing the pieces down. So I'm going to kind of layer these and glue them down. I am going to use regular glue. You could do glue sticks, but I kind of like the regular glue. It gets a little bit of a more solid So when I glue, I just go around the outsides, and then I usually make a crisscross through the middle just to get it nice and secure. So I'm going to kind of glue this down where I want it once I've kind of painted and colored all of my pieces. Let me add his little nose, again, around the edges, a dot in the middle. Kind of always hold my glue down for like a minute to get it nice and secure. The liquid glue is nice because it kind of soaks in the cardboard and gets a better hold. Got my animal here, or eye, sorry, got my eye here. He's looking pretty good. I also grabbed something you might have around your house. It's just a simple gold metallic effect Sharpie, and just did some dots. If you have gold paint, you could use a Q-tip to dot around the edges, and I just find if I draw like some little lines around the edges. Traditional African artwork incorporates a lot of designs, a lot of geometric designs. So you've got a lot of lines, you've got a lot of dots, and it just kind of gives them, do some dots around the eyes. It just kind of takes it to the next level and makes it look, yeah, just more interesting. Now, the last thing I saw with my lion that I wanted to do myself, and I kind of saw this in the example I was looking at, was they gave him a really amazing mane. You could do this with a zebra, you could do it with a giraffe, but what I did here was I took these thin strips of cardboard that I cut up, and I used these white oil pastel. You could use crayon or paint, and I did these really cool geometric patterns on them so I could kind of glue them down and lay them out all around my lion. So when I say like geometric patterns, I literally just took these and took a white oil pastel, and you could try zigzags, kind of like that. If you have corrugated cardboard, which is the cardboard that has the bumps in it, that is a really cool thing to add to this project too, because you can color over it and it gets like cool texture and some really cool bumps to it. I could do zigzags again with my oil pastel, but this time, instead of just doing the zigzags, I'm going to come back over it in the opposite way. To do like a diamond pattern. This reminds me of the projects that I do with kindergartners where we talk about like different kinds of lines, like swirls. You might do kind of, I know it's hard for you to see, kind of a dash pattern on it. You could try to do like a dot line. This is a great way, actually, I just thought about this as I'm talking to you, but this would be a great way to practice patterns, period. And just kind of take these really cool, I've made all these different designs and kind of lay them around. If I don't want to waste your time, but if I had more time on this, probably what I would do with these is actually turn the mask over, and you could take a piece of tape and kind of tape them here on the back. And that way it could be an actual mask that you could hold up. Or you could do what I was planning on doing, and you could kind of just take a little bit of glue and just kind of secure them here around the edges if you're going to mount it on this board. It just kind of depends on what you plan on doing with it. This is not a mask to wear because obviously I haven't cut holes in it. If you wanted to do that, a grown-up could take like a sharp, like an X-Acto knife or something similar and cut out the eyes. But really the beauty of this to me is the colors and the shapes, and also you get this really cool layered look. So you could layer it as thick as you want to or as thin as you want to. It gives it some really nice texture. So thinking about animals you could choose, I did a lion. You could do zebras, giraffes, cute little monkeys, any animal that you, number one, could be from Africa, or if you wanted to even take it a little further, it could be an animal that you have around your house, like your cat or your dog, and you could kind of do it in this style to bring a little bit of a different culture to it. So I am sure you have tons, we've been down seeing some, I'm sure you have tons, if you're like me, tons of Amazon boxes, tons of shipping boxes. So I encourage you to kind of give them a new life, maybe an extra one, and cut it up a little bit and create something kind of fun and bring a little bit of Africa into your house. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you have fun with this project. please send me pictures or videos of you working on it. You can reach out to me if you're one of my Oakhurst students on Class Dojo. You can reach out to me on Facebook if we're friends on there and you got it through here, or you can tag me on Instagram or um, Twitter. I'm at CS Riley Teach, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will be back tomorrow on Thursday with another really fun project for you guys, one of my favorites. All right, bye.